Okay. Uh, Good morning to all of you. Today we are going to we will be enter into unit number 4. So the remaining topics of unit number 3 are experiments actually. After opening your college, so when you will be there at college, then I will show you how they will be work out. Although all those are experiments actually, they are not supposed to be taken into consideration. Take some breadboards, and we have to connect some connections, and then we have to get the outputs of that particular experiments. Okay. So, however, let us uh, let us come across with unit number 4. Unit number 4 is very important, very important for our next subject, which is going to come to you in your 2-1, that is computer organization. That is the subject where exactly there in your second year. For that particular subject, this unit is pretty much important. This unit is sequential, synchronous sequential logic. Okay, this unit is concentrates on synchronous sequential logic. Previously, we have concentrated on combinational logic. Basic difference between these two. What is the basic difference between these two is in combinational logic we have n number of inputs. Number of inputs will be n, and outputs might be n number of inputs must be there, and outputs will be m number of outputs will be there, where m will be always taking this inequality. So m is always taken 2 power n. Okay, number of inputs will be n, and the number of outputs will be so m here. This is the first point you need to consider in combinational logic. And in combinational logic, what exactly you are taken into consideration is, so based on the present input values, outputs will be depends. Outputs will be depends based on the present input values. If the pattern of present input values will be some other, so let me say 000, it will be gives you so specified output. For 001, it will gives you some other output, something like that, as like as a decoder, encoder, or multiplexer, demultiplexer, what we have discussed. So based on the present state of inputs, outputs are going to be so defined. Whereas in sequential, synchronous sequential logic, so here, so 2 points, whatever I have given as 2 points in terms of combination logic, here also I'd like to give you the 2 points. So inputs might be n number of inputs might be there with you, and here you have so outputs might be its original form and its complementary form. Only these two outputs might be available, either in original form and its complementary form. You do have n number of inputs, so 2 inputs, 3 inputs, 10 inputs, 20 inputs. However, how many number of inputs are there with you? It doesn't matter. It may be outputs might be few or q complement. Otherwise, some m complement, original form and its complementary form. Only these two are available. That is the first point. Second point is in combinational logic. Second point we have discussed it as, so based on the present state of inputs, outputs will be defined as far as combination logic is concerned. Whereas in sequential, synchronous sequential logic is concerned, what exactly we're supposed to specify here is, in addition to present inputs, you have to take care about the present state of outputs also into consideration. Okay, present state of output. One of the present states of outputs must be taken into consideration. That's also be taken into consideration. Okay, that is the difference between combinational logic and sequential logic. Let me go ahead with my lecture today. These are the two differences, and based on these differences, we will come across and we will discuss. So first of all, how the combination sequential logic will be. Sequential logic will be seen in such a fashion. So these sequential logics might be number of inputs might be having like this, and output also be there for combinational logic. If you add memory unit to the combinational logic, then that will be called as sequential logic. Okay, that will be considered as synchronous sequential logic. Look at this. There is a feedback. There is a specific feedback from so this memory unit to this combinational logic here. Feedback in the sense, whatever the output of this area, this output will be plays a vital role in so designing sequential logic. Synchronous sequential logic. So therefore, not only with present inputs, it may be concentrate on present state of the outputs also. So that is why it is called as synchronous sequential logic. Okay, and how it could be defined? So synchronous sequential logic will be defined a combinational circuit, and in addition to combination circuit, storage element will be connected. Storage element in the sense, at any moment of time, some information must be stored into those memory elements that will be added to the combination logic. Then such kind of a whole circuit will be called as synchronous sequential logic. Okay, and this memory element must be have some kind of output here. Yes, we do have some kind of output here. This output must be give input to the combination logic. So this output must be reflected next outputs. For example, so at delta t, that delta t naught, we have some kind of output. So this output, let me say that is 0, for example. At delta t1, it could be generate some kind of output. This output will be depends upon this output also. Okay, this output will be given as input to this delta t1 inputs. Okay, in addition to whatever the inputs you have with you in your delta t1 state. So whatever the output in the previous state, that also be participated as input. So that is why these are called as synchronous sequential logics. Then so second point we need to concentrate will be storage. Storage element is always trying to store the binary information. How much amount of binary information it is going to store here is only one bit, single bit, only one bit. So that is why it is called as flip-flop. That is why it is called as flip-flop. Either it is available with 0 or it is available with its complementary form. Flipping, flopping. Flipping in the sense original form, flopping in the sense that original form will be available with so complementary form. Okay. In this way, we would like to have this one, and followed by so this binary information which has been available with the output. Memory element. That memory element will be gives and defines the state of next output of the sequential circuit. Next output of the sequential circuit here. So that is what I have discussed just before. Then followed by what exactly we are supposed to specify here is so the sequential circuit receives binary information from the external inputs. External inputs in the sense this is the external input. Okay. After getting this one, it also gets some kind of information from the outputs also. Okay. So this total structure will be called as synchronous sequential structure. Okay. Then the synchronous sequential circuit will be seems a sequential circuit is specified by time sequence of inputs and outputs and internal states. Okay. How internal states will be affect the sequential circuit? Let me go ahead with that. Okay. You can see a combination circuit. And then previous diagram only, there is no difference at all. Okay, everything is previous diagram. Memory unit will be, this memory unit will be work out based on the clock pulses. If clock pulse could not be there, clock pulse in the sense electricity, signal from the electricity. If clock pulse could not be there, you could not work with the memory unit. Okay, so you have many memories which are available. Read-only memory, random access memory, PROM, programmable random access memory, something like that. We have many, as many memories are available. So whatever the memory you could consider, without power contents, they could not be effective. So how the pulses will be? Pulses will be seems in such a way. This is the pulse. The digital pulse will be seems like this. If a pulse will be at this stage, this will be defined as 0. The pulse will be at this stage, this will be defined 1. This is 0. This is 1. This is 0, and so on. In this way, you have to define your pulses here. Okay, I am in electrical pulses here, and so on and so forth. So here, how this could be? So this will be always taken into consideration while any sequential circuit is being implemented by you. The sequential circuit must be implemented with the assistance of only the pulses here. Without having pulses, so you could not store everything. So at one particular point, let me consider this is the area. At this place, what is the state of your memory element? You need to calculate that. At this particular point, what is the state of your memory element? If so, you have to calculate here. So something like this, it will be able to do, or it will be able to connect here. So this is the way. So for doing this one, let me discuss one specific point here. That point will be, okay, let me eliminate everything. Let me go ahead and come across with one particular thing. First and foremost sequential circuit is the latch. RS latch. RS latch. How this RS latch will be defined? RS latch will be defined without clock pulses. There might not have any clock pulses. Without the clock pulses, you have to define your RS latch. So this is a basic latch, and this latch will be always used to calculate or used to store one bit of information. Okay, one bit of information. It is not at all a flip flop. It is just latch without having any input clock pulses. You have to build this. So RS latch will be able to build with the two different types of gates. One is NOR gate and second one is NAND gate. Let us discuss what about the NAND gate today. Then tomorrow we'll go ahead with the NOR gate also. Okay. So normally NAND gate is always taking into consideration. So as and when both inputs are is equal to 1, then output is 0. Remaining all other cases, NAND gate output is 1 here. Okay. So keeping this particular point in our mind, so it has been generated something like this. So NAND gate, the first NAND gate will be this one. Look at this. This is the first NAND gate, and this is the second NAND gate. Already I have given some information to you. So output will be either it is an ordinary form or it is an complementary form. Only two outputs will be there here. Either it is available with QN in the sense nth unit of time, and which is QN complement. Okay, so it is a QN and a QN complement. Then two inputs must be taken by this particular RS latch. So input might be always taking something like this. Already I have told you the output of this particular sequential logic will be plays a vital role in sequential logic here. So output will be gets connected something like this. This is the way to connect the output here. Okay, output QN complement will be connected to this gate. Let me consider this is first gate and this is second gate here. For first gate, QN complement will be connected. For second gate, QN has been gets connected. Then how could you operate this yes and R? At the ordinary point of view, so you have to connect yes value. At the complementary form, so you have to connect R value, something like this. This is the basic latch. Basic latch will be seems in such a fashion. Okay, this is the basic latch, and this basic latch must have some. Still, more people are joining. I don't know why. Are you able to listen me first of all? Because I'm giving class. But many people are unable to join with me. Are you able to listen me? Say yes or no. Are you able to listen me or not? Are you able to listen me? Are you able to? Am I audible to you? Yeah, yeah. So this is the basic latch, and every latch might have its own what do you call truth table. Then how could you calculate this particular truth table? So look at this. We do have one particular point. That point is, let me consider if one will be there. For a NAND gate, inputs will be 1 1, then the output will be considered as 0. And remain all other situations 0 0 0 1 1 0. So input will be 1 here. You need to keep this particular truth table of NAND gate in our mind. Then only you have to solve this one here. Case number 1. So S might be equal to case number 1, S might be equal to 0, and R might be equal to 0. Both will be equal to 0. What exactly being happening here? So what exactly being happening, we need to calculate here. This is the first case, case number 1. So look at this. We need to identify next output. Okay, right now we have Qn and Q complement n. We need to identify this particular value. So this particular value could be gets identified something like this. Let me consider. So here it is 0, and here it is also 0 here. So if you have one particular 0 with you, obviously you have 1. I mean output must be 1 with you. So therefore, based on that particular concept, we'd like to evaluate this one here. Qn plus 1. So Qn plus 1 will be equal to, so let me consider at this place. So let me consider at gate 1. Gate 1, the input of this one is, the input of this one is, so 0 into 0 into, so input of at this particular place. I mean, I'm talking about this particular thing. 0 into, so second input will be Qn complement whole complement. NAND gate will be always gives you whole complement. Okay, so that will be 0 into anything will be equal to 0. So therefore 0 whole complement. 0 whole complement will be equal to 1 here. So finally you could get Qn as 1. You got one particular value for Qn. Okay, then so at the Qn plus 1 complement. So at this particular place, what is the complementary value? So Qn plus 1, so whole complement value will be equal to, so try to look at here also 0 has been placed here. Yes, it is 0. It is, yes, it is 0 into, so Qn, just now we got one particular value, that is Qn. Directly let me operate Qn whole complement. 0 into whole 0 into Qn equal to 0. So then 0 whole complement, 0 complement will be equal to 1. Look at this. So at Qn and Qn plus 1 complement 1. So at Qn plus 1 and Qn plus 1 complement, at this both stages you got 1. Okay, you got 1 here. Does it possible? Is it possible to do to think like that? It doesn't possible, because if you take one particular value in terms of min terms or max terms, if you take x, so let us consider if it is 0, and its complement value must be equal to 1. Otherwise, if you take x will be equal to, x will be equal to 1, so it must be x complement must be equal to 0. It is by nature. This is the by nature value. So because of by nature value, these two are there. But here Qn plus 1, I mean next state of this particular RS lab will be having 1, and Qn plus 1 complement also having 1. Okay, this particular kind of situation would not be existed in terms of any complement, sorry, in terms of any flip-flop here. So therefore, this kind of a thing, as and when S will be equal to 0, R will be equal to 0, you should not get any particular, you should not get any particular output. That output is in contradictory mode. Contradictory mode in the sense, So ordinary form and complementary form, both are having 1. It is highly impossible to mention something like this. So this kind of situation is called as forbidden situation. Forbidden. Okay. Forbidden situation or indeterminate state, whatever it may be. You could not determine what kind of value it does. Okay. This is the first point you need to consider. And in second stage, second stage in the sense stage number 2. So let me submit S will be equal to 0. S will be equal to 0 and R will be equal to 1. R will be equal to 1 here. Let me submit like this. At this stage, you need to identify Qn plus 1 again. At Qn plus 1, so present inputs will be 0 and 1. So how it could be? So Qn plus 1 in the sense, this is the area where exactly you need to find. So Qn value is just Qn. We'd like to identify next state value. So at this place, the one input is 0. So one input is 0 plus second input is Qn complement whole complement. We know that so 0 plus anything, whatever it may be, so 0 plus anything will be considered as, I'm sorry, it is not actually plus, it is actually into, because NAND gate is always trying to operate with into. I'm very sorry. Okay, so 0 into anything will be equal to 0. So therefore 0 complement will be equal to 1. Then identify the complementary value Qn plus 1. So whole complement will be equal to, so what is the input here? At this moment R has been submitted 1. Instead of this one, we have submitted here it is 1. So therefore 1 into, so second input is Qn. Second input is Qn. So whole complement, that would be equal to, so Qn complement. Qn complement. Okay. Then what is the Qn complement? Qn whole complement value. So previously, what is the value you got? So that is 1. So 1 whole complement will be equal to 0. So here you could clearly understand that Qn plus 1 value is 1. Qn plus 1 whole complement is equal to 0. Yes, it is okay. It could be able to available in such a fashion. So this particular state will be called as a set state. Let me give you one example at this after some time. Probably many people are unable to join here. So if S equal to 0 and R equal to 1, so you got set state. Now let me change the values. So S equal to 1 and R equal to 0. Let us identify what exactly this particular thing will be. So here also Qn plus 1 must be identified. So Qn plus 1 is equal to Qn plus 1 in the sense, so at the first gate, okay, one of the inputs is 1 into second input is Qn complement, so n whole complement. That could be equal to 1 into Qn complement equal to Qn complement. So Qn complement whole complement will be equal to Qn. That is A complement whole complement equal to, so A only, something like that. So whatever the previous state value, the same value has been continued here. So that is the meaning of this one. Okay, whatever the previous state we have Qn. So if you submit 1 0, S equal to 1 and R equal to 0, same values are being continued. So if you come across this one, you should have the same kind of values here also. Then followed by S equal to, finally S equal to 1 and R equal to, so 1. If you submit like this, what exactly you have with you? So you have something like this. Qn plus 1 again Again, we need to identify next state of information. Qn plus 1 will be equal to 1 into, so Qn whole complement, whole complement. Similarly, here also we got Qn. And Qn plus 1 complement also be taken into consideration here. Qn plus 1, so whole complement will be equal to, again 1 into Qn whole complement, that will be equal to Qn complement. In this way, you can calculate. So finally, how the values are supposed to be acquired here, how the things will be acquired here. What is the truth table for this particular latch here? So truth table for this particular latch will be seems in this way. You do have truth table will be, we do have many inputs are there here. Number one, yes is one input, R is another input, and you need to identify, so Qn plus 1 value. Okay. Of course, not exactly. In addition to this, we do have one more thing also be available. So let me write that one also. That is not important actually, but the courtesy to mention that particular value, that is Qn. What is the present state, and what is the next state after taking some kind of input here? Okay. So initially, so 0 will be submitted. We don't know what is the value of so that particular Qn. So how the value could become? So this is called as forbidden state. This is called as forbidden, otherwise indeterminate forbidden state or indeterminate state. Then if you submit 0, 1, and we don't know what is the present state value, because present state value could not be known to you. At this particular situation, you maybe get 1 in the sense, which is called as set state, and 1, 0 will be sent to you. So it could be called as 0, which is called as a reset state. So, and finally, one will be taken by you. Then you could get, there is no change at all. Whatever the previous outputs, same outputs will be. Previous state outputs, whatever the outputs, they will be continued. So, no change. These are the specific outputs. Okay. So, this is the way RS latch is going to be evaluated. So, if you have questions, then ask me at any moment of time. I will be available up to 5:30. I will be available up to 5:30.